Here we got soul satisfaction.
So yeah, if you're having any issues with trying to figure out what kind of value you need to put on your band for what appropriate time, if you need help with that, for one, you can put anything you want in the comments. Especially if you guys don't agree with anything I'm saying, I still I welcome the comments. Also, please subscribe to this channel. This is another way for me to try to grow. I'm trying to grow. So there are other ways that you guys can grow exponentially and scale up with your businesses. Like, for example, I started a podcast, and just like everything else that I get into, I usually don't know what I'm doing at first, but it's okay. Everything's a learning curve, and as long as you're trying to, by your micro units, you're trying to get a little bit better at what you're doing, then things will grow. For example, when I first started this podcast, I was at like 32 subscribers. I mean, like I was at like, because I didn't really pay attention to my YouTube channel. I literally only had like 5 music videos that I put out on my YouTube channel. There's other music videos that have been put out by me, but they were actually put out by somebody else's YouTube channel. Well, I figured that out quickly, like, oh, okay, I need to build my YouTube channel. So this is a good way for me to expand and be able to help. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm pretty hyper creative, and I'm hyper verbal. So I have a lot to say, and this is a really good outlet for me, because if I can put my manic energy into this, then I'm not driving my band members crazy with business talk. Because as much as you guys, we'd all like to say that we like money, but nobody really likes to talk about how and what it takes to make money, because that takes it's business discussion. A lot of people don't enjoy that stuff. I eat it for breakfast. I can't help it. That's just what I do. I'm like I said, I'm hyper creative. I'm always trying to think of solutions, and I'm always trying to think of and trying to identify problems and obstacles that are in the way, and then trying to come up with solutions for those problems. So scaling your business, it's not really a problem, it's more of an opportunity. Again, you guys should be excited about growth. You should be excited about growing. But again, grow in these micro units. So that way you're just never putting anybody into a situation where you're just like, wow, we weren't ready for that, and I've talked about this on other podcasts. Like, if your band is really, really new, unless you guys are just absolutely, crushing it, and you've got the vote of the people, it's like you just want to be careful about growing too fast, too soon, because I think that's how a lot of bands have had such short lives. There's not enough fulfillment, and I think appreciation for those micro steps. Having gratitude and appreciation for the difficulties that are everywhere in the music industry. So I don't want to go off the rails too much on that. I hope this was helpful, and where am I going with that? So when it comes to scaling your band or your business, scaling your band into a brand, that's another way to scale. You scale with your marketing. It's another way for you to be able to grow exponentially. And the reason why I say that you're actually growing exponentially is because if your brand is so good and your logo is so good that it's communicating to people that, oh, you know, for one, these guys seem like they've got their shit together and they've got a really good sound, and they put some really, you know, they put a lot of effort and energy into their marketing and their brand. See, people that resonates with people because that it establishes more value, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep establishing more value, keep putting more and more value, and build more and more value with what you're doing. So when I'm being synonymous with business and brand and band, it's because that's the way my mind works. In my mind I've already scaled my band into a brand. And well, I'm sorry, I scaled my band into a business, and then from my business I scaled that into a brand. So I think that that's a proper succession for what you guys, you know, how you guys can scale yourself, because you're not just scaling yourself on the live situations. You got to be scaling yourself on the behind the scenes stuff, your branding, your logo, all that stuff. It is scaling, you know. So I think I've said the word scale so many times I'm actually sick of saying it, and so I'm going to end this podcast on this. And just to let you know, thank you guys so much for tuning in again, and definitely stay tuned, because I've been I've been basically delaying doing a podcast on P. Diddy, but I think the time is finally here, and so check me out on the next podcast. It's going to be about P. Diddy and how, in a way, through his malevolent actions, he's done nothing but validate my personal opinions about this industry, and he's validated why I wanted to do this podcast in the first place. And I'm glad that I actually started doing this podcast 3 months before all this stuff started happening, because I don't want to look like, you know, I'm you know, some kind of Johnny come lately, you know. This is stuff that's been bothering me for years, and I finally just wanted to start, you know, voicing a lot of the negative things about the industry that I just absolutely hate. And believe it or not, I think that they're good things to hate. So anyways, thanks for listening to this one. Join me on my next one, where we're going to get into some P. Diddy stuff. And not like, you know, it ain't going to be no P. Diddy party. So, alright, cheers.